Hey everybody, it's Uber Dante here, and I'd like to show off this word game that I made, which is called Alpha Hop. And it's kind of a pen and paper game. You might find in the newspaper puzzle section or games magazine or something like that. So these are just, short little thinky word games. It's not really a puzzle. It's more of a game, but it is this kind of solitaire word game. They're free to print out and play. I've got 30 puzzles up there, so if you want to um, do one for each day of the month or something like that, you can do that. I'm going to try to explain the rules for you now. And yeah, I've got the same game here on my Kindle, so I will show it that way. So let's just zoom up here on this example one. And it's also got the rules right underneath it. Maybe you can see that. So you're going to play 4 rounds. You're going to be looking for words in here, and you're going to be starting anywhere you like and kind of connecting adjacent. They could be diagonally adjacent, left and right, however, to find some kind of word, and you're going to get points for that. And you're going to get points for however many boxes you use, not um, how many letters there are in the words, but you're going to get points for using each box. But what you have to do each round is you have to block out one letter. And you're going to use that blocked out letter to hop. Those are going to be called hop squares, and you're going to use those to hop from one place to another that you couldn't do before. So let's just say, I'll just do the first round here. So you can't black out the corners. The corners are off. First round, you can block off anywhere else. So we're going to block off this D in the center here. That D is no longer available to you. But now I can use any of these connected letters to hop kind of across. Okay? And your word has to hop across this this hop square, this blocked off square. So I'm going to start with this J. Now, some letters are worth 2 points. So J has this plus that is worth 2 points. And if you're wondering what this is, that's just a wild. So it could be anything one time per round. So if I'm saying this round it's a T or whatever, then I can't go there like twice and change it each time. It's got to be a T. Okay, so I'm going to do the word jeans. There's a few ways I could make it. I'm going to start with this J. I'm going to go across to this E, maybe like that. And then I hit this hop square. And from here, I can hop to one of these 3 over here. So maybe I'll show you down here. Let's say you're at this S. You can use the hop square to hop to a location that's adjacent to the square, but that you couldn't have gotten to otherwise. So for the case of this S, I could just move to this L. So I wouldn't need the hop square to get to the L. So I can't say I'm going to the hop square and then going to the L. But I wouldn't be able to go from the S to the T or the C or the A, and those are all adjacent to this U. So I can go ST, SC, SA like that. If I'm coming diagonally from there, then I have a few more choices, because coming diagonally, I would only, without the square, I could only go here and here. But jumping on this square, I can now go any one of these other locations. Okay, and continue my word. Now you do get points for the square as well. So that's why, you want to use these squares if you can, because you're going to get a point for that. So I'll just finish my word. So I'm going to go from this E down to this A, and then to the N, and then up to the S. So I made the word jeans. I can just write that in here. And then I can count my points. So basically, I get 1 point for every square I use, whether it's a letter square or whether it's a hop square. So in this case, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but J was worth an extra point, so I would get 7 points for that. And my goal each time is to get 30. So 30 is like a winning score. And maybe like 35 is a great score, something like that, like a super score. But basically, you're trying to get 30. And I've found like most of the time it's pretty doable. I haven't lost a game, but you do have to kind of think, how do I get to 30? So that's kind of a fun challenge. 35 is a little bit harder. Okay, now in your next turn, you're going to block off another square, but you have a few more restrictions, so you can't put the square so that it's touching another one even diagonally. So I can't say I'm going to do this one next, this A, because these would be touching. So that's out. And earlier I said you can't do the corners. That's always true. And the reason is because, if I'm going from S to R, I could already get there without using the square. So the corners are out. You'll always be able to place 4. You'll always be able to scratch out 4, but depending on how you place them, on your last turn, you might have, 2 spaces you could choose, or you might have, 5 or 6 that you could choose. So it's a little bit of a thinky game in that way. So the next turn, you want to choose another one. So this time I'm actually going to scratch out this J, so I won't get the point from there anymore. That's just a 1 point now. But I'm going to spell the word swamp. So I'm going to start with this S, go to the W, hop to the A, and then hop from there to the M, and then to the P. So this time I've used 2 squares. So that's great. So the more squares you use, probably the better. The more letters more squares in general, whether they're hop squares or letter squares. Okay, so I have the word swamp. It's also 5 letters, but I got the 5 letters plus 2 hop squares, so that would be a score also 7. So I'm well on my way to a score of 28. So next round I'm going to have to do a little bit better than that. So this is actually the same example that's in the rule book. So you can see that one again. Okay, so next round we're going to do the word prayers. Okay, and we're going to use this. You can see there's no Y here. We're going to use this wild as a Y this term. So, okay, so I'm going to, first I'm going to block off this M. And I'm going to start with this P, go to the R, hop to this A, then hop to this wild, which would be a Y. And then I'm going to hop on this one, go over to the E, R, hop again and go to S. Did you get all that? So PRAYERS. And so some of these, like the R or this hop square, I went over twice, but you don't count. You only count it as once. So when you're doing your score, you're only counting, all of the squares that you visited. So in this case, it looks like 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So prayers gave me a score of 9. Okay, let's jump ahead to the last round. So in my last round, I'm a little bit limited where I could go. It's not too bad. So I could go, all of these are out. Everything over here is out. All these are out. But any one of these three or any one of these three. So I've got quite a few choices of where I can go. I'm going to cross out this K down here, and I'm going to spell the word plasters. Okay, plasters, like that. So I'm going to start with this P, L, go over the A. That's hopping. So every turn you have to use you have to use this, the one that you scratched, that you blacked out. Okay. PLA, S, and then this will be a T this time. And then I'll just do kind of the same thing I did earlier. So I'm jump to E, R, and S. And that should give me 10, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 11. Okay. 11. Very good. So I ended up with the score of 34. So that was a victory. Just one shy of a great victory. And you can try again. It will be a little bit different depending on which ones you're going to block out. So I think it's kind of replayable, or you can just jump ahead and go to do the next one. This is a free game. Is free to print out. It's actually set up. The PDF is set up so there's 3 on a page. So that works out nice if you're doing it on a iPad, or like I have on a Kindle. It's kind of nice if it's you have 3 on there like that. It's pretty easy to do. If you're doing it with pencil and paper, this one is probably better. You just set your printer settings so it prints 2 pages to a page. And I've made 30 of them, so they're available. I don't know if people like it. I will probably make some more. So just a little bit of a history about this game. It originated as an entry in the Board Game Geeks 1 card game contest, and it was this grid of letters, a much bigger grid, but the rules were pretty much the same. There were a little more restrictions on movements, and it was a 2-player game. You kind of play back and forth and try to score the most points. This game was just okay. I think nothing to write home about. But one of the feedback I got from Stein Spiel, I think is their name, suggested doing like a smaller grid in this kind of style. So eventually I got around to doing that. And I think this is a much more interesting game as shorter, so you have less kind of options available to you. And you have a little more movement what you can do, and it's everything you block off, then it really affects what you're doing the next round. So I really like this. It's really fun. I've been playing a bunch of it. And so next I'll just show you how I kind of came up with each one of these grids.
Yes, so I'll just show you how I make these. And so here I've got an Excel file, and I've got 8 of these set up here. And the way I did it is over here in this A column, I've got a list of letters, and the more common letters appear more than once. So I think I've got like 8 E's here, something. The vowels appear multiple times, and then as you go down, some of the other letters appear less often. And then so these boxes are just picking one random letter from that list. So because the vowels appear more often, then it's more likely that they'll show up. And some of the other ones, like the Z and the Q, won't appear as often. And then I can just kind of keep refreshing this page, and I can get a bunch of different ones to come up, because sometimes they're not great. They have like a bunch of the same letters together or something like. But I just kind of look around, and I'll just grab one that looks decent, copy that, and then I do everything in PowerPoint. So I've just got like blank ones set up there, so that I can just copy that in there. I usually look for ones that are like this has 2 eyes that are next to each other, so it's probably not so fun. So I'll take one of those out, and then I'll throw the. This is actually an image. I'll throw that wild asterisk in there, and then if there's any other ones, the special ones, I'll throw this mark in there. But I might go. This one looks okay. I'll look through and see. Oh, maybe I don't know. This one has 3 M's actually, so I don't. Especially if they're next to each other, then I'll just see. Okay, what don't we have here? There's no R, so maybe I'll put like an R in there. So they're not. They're I've kind of got a. I won't call it a program, but I've got a way to kind of generate these. But then I also want to go through and make sure, there's still maybe change this I as well. Just see what else is out here. I'm just going to go through, maybe put a K here. Okay. I don't, eventually I'll come back and I'll play through these, but I just trust that, having at least one wild, having enough vowels, will, make it able so you can play. So that's how that works.